It's late at night, the banks are closed, the doors are locked, the lights are off, and there's no cashier waiting behind the counter. If this were a few decades ago, you'd have no choice but to wait until morning just to access your own money. But today, everything is different. All you need is a small plastic card in your wallet. You walk to the nearest ATM, insert your card, enter your PIN, and within just a few seconds, the machine hands you $100 in cash. It never asks for your name. It never asked for your account number. You don't have to fill out a single form, yet somehow it knows that the money belongs to you. But how? How does the ATM know whether your bank account has enough balance? And even more surprisingly, out of thousands of banknotes stored inside the machine, how does it dispense exactly the amount you requested? Is an ATM simply a box full of cash? Or is it actually an invisible world powered by electronics, cryptography, mechanical engineering, precision sensors, bank servers, and high-speed communication networks? Step inside the hidden world of the ATM machine, where a tiny plastic card activates an entire banking system. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at an ATM the same way again. The story of the ATM didn't begin today. It began decades ago. There was a time when withdrawing your own money wasn't easy. You had to visit a bank branch, stand in long queues, fill out withdrawal forms, wait for the cashier, and if the bank had already closed, you had to come back the next day just to access your own money. But as the world became more modern, people started asking one simple question. Do we really need a human every time someone wants to withdraw cash? That single question gave birth to the ATM. During the 1960s, several inventors began working on this idea. Many experiments were conducted and many machines failed. But in 1967, the world's first successful cash machine was installed at Barclays Bank in London. At the time, people were amazed. A machine that could actually give you money? It felt like something straight out of science fiction. Today, however, millions of ATM machines operate around the world, processing hundreds of millions of transactions every single day. One invention transformed banking into a service that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But before we understand how an ATM works, we first need to understand the small plastic card in your wallet, because the ATM doesn't recognize you. It recognizes your card. Hidden inside your card is your digital identity. Older ATM cards used to have a magnetic stripe on the back, which stored basic information such as the card number, bank details, and account-related information. But modern cards are far more advanced. They contain an EMV chip, a tiny microcomputer embedded inside the card. Every time a transaction takes place, this chip generates dynamic security data, making each transaction unique. That's why modern chip cards are far more secure than the older magnetic stripe cards. And here's something many people misunderstand. Your money is not stored inside the card. The card is simply a key. Your actual money is securely stored within the bank's digital systems. Now imagine this. You walk into an ATM booth, insert your card, and at that exact moment, a complex process begins inside the machine. The card reader becomes active. It establishes communication with the EMV chip. The card data is read. The ATM identifies which bank issued the card and which payment network it is connected to. Visa, MasterCard, or the bank's own internal network. But even now, the ATM still doesn't know whether your account has enough balance. For that, one more important step is required. PIN verification. The ATM asks you to enter your PIN. It may look like just 4 or 6 digits, but in reality, it is the password to your digital identity. And here's the interesting part. When you enter your PIN, the ATM does not store it as plain text. Inside every ATM is a special encrypting PIN pad. The moment you type your PIN, it is instantly converted into encrypted code. This means that even if someone intercepts the data while it is being transmitted, they still cannot read or understand it. Along with this encrypted information, the ATM sends a transaction request to the bank, and now begins the ATM's invisible journey. You may think the machine is standing right in front of you, but in reality, your transaction travels through multiple digital systems. The ATM sends the request to the bank through a secure communication network. Along the way, it passes through transaction switches, payment networks, and processing systems. Within just a few milliseconds, the request reaches your bank's core banking server. There, the bank performs a series of security checks. Is the PIN correct? Is the card active? Does the account have sufficient balance? Has the daily withdrawal limit been exceeded? Is there any suspicious or fraudulent activity? If everything checks out, the bank sends back an approval message, giving the ATM permission to dispense cash. And this is where the real engineering begins. Inside every ATM is a heavily reinforced safe. Within that safe are cash cassettes, each loaded with a different denomination of banknotes. For example, $20, $50, or $100 bills. Suppose you request $100. The ATM instantly calculates the most efficient combination of notes and determines exactly how many bills to take from each cash cassette. Then, the cash dispensing system comes to life. Inside the ATM are high-precision rubber rollers that pick up the banknotes one at a time. But this process isn't always perfect. Sometimes two notes stick together. Sometimes a bill is folded. Sometimes it becomes misaligned. That's why ATMs are equipped with multiple precision sensors. These sensors inspect every single banknote. They check its thickness, they measure its length, they verify its position as it moves through the machine. If two notes are picked up together, the ATM immediately detects the error and rejects them. If a bill is damaged or doesn't meet the required standards, it is diverted into a reject bin instead of being dispensed. In other words, an ATM doesn't just hand out cash. It carefully inspects the quality of every single banknote before